Okay, let me ask you this: Do couples have domestic violence and violence in the home? This wife might be okay with me knocking her motherfucking head through the washer. It's okay.
Yeah,
it's okay. For my wife to go to the motherfucking pick my son up with a black eye like a plum.
Yes, because I know women.
Man, come on, dog.
I know some women that say
that's okay. If my wife allowed me to kick her ass, that's okay.
We both just say,
is it okay?
She has not expressed it.
Is it okay?
Any authority?
Is it okay? Yes or no?
The law has not been broken.
No. I'm asking you personally. Is it okay if my wife allows me to kick her ass? Is it okay?
Is she comfortable?
Obviously she ain't left. Is it okay though?
If it's okay for her, then let her ride out. That's y'all relationship.
No, this is why.
If your girl came to you ass kicked, broke arm, shiner, big as a tomato.
I have had a friend.
Go back.
Friend.
You tell her to go back to him.
I have had a friend that has gone through exactly that. I took to the hospital.
And you told? Okay? Did you tell her to go back to him?
This is what I told her. If this is the relationship you decide to go forward with, I no longer can be connected to you, but it is your decision whether you want to stay with him or leave. And that is what I did.
Why you didn't want to be connected?
Because I'm not finna come around and take you to the hospital and get knocked out. I'm not okay with it. You're okay with living with him. You're okay.
I know what I'm saying.
Hold on. If you asked us personally,
that's what I did.
We're not okay with it. But you hold on.
You said for your person.
This is what you said. So it's a woman out there that's getting a whoop. That's what you said.
I said I kicked my wife ass. I said I use me.
Yes. So if my friend wants to be with an abuser, if that is a comfortable decision for her, I don't want to be connected.
Because I've been cool with a nigga that was in a relationship that was abusive, and I'm like, I asked him, I said, "You cool with this?" He's like, "Well, we had great sex." I was like, "Well, shit, it is what it is." And I just left it alone. I didn't think nothing of it. I didn't care. I said, for me, I wouldn't be there. But he even had the conversation. And some women have even said, "I don't even feel like a man loved me until he beat my ass."
We didn't have that conversation.
So if some women are equating ass whoopings to love, and we all think love is this grandiose Disney fairy tale shit that we all want to feel one day. So if the bitch want to feel the same way we want to feel with a black eye, who are we to say that's wrong? We got women that say they feel that you ain't gotta agree. This is what the women have said. I don't feel love until I'm getting my ass beat. You done been in love before, it felt good, right?
Yeah.
I didn't been in love, felt good. Shonda, you been in love, felt good? Okay, so she feel like that's part of her love. It feels good. It's okay then.
I agree.
Okay, but I'm just saying, we always say the love feels good, right? She want a black eye to feel love. She want her teeth knocked out. She want to fight Mike Tyson every motherfucking night. I don't give a fuck.
This is Prime Essence New Normal Podcast. I think we need to do a panel on this. This is a great topic because I think we need to get into that because what show is, and I'm with the mind your business and stuff. I'm with that. If you like it, I love it. I am with that to a degree. However, it's certain things that we all know. If we was to see our parents go through it or our loved ones, we wouldn't be okay with it under the guise of them being okay with it.
And you know why? Because I agree with that sentiment that you just said. I agree with that.
So how can we say it's wrong because we love them versus this stranger that we don't know? It's okay.
Let me tell you something. Because if I see my baby fall off a fucking bike, I'm like, damn, my son just fall back. But if I watch a little kid on YouTube fall back, I'm gonna laugh my ass off.
In person, at the park.
I done laugh my ass off in person.
I mean, I get.
Ashley said you have shared before your relative went through something like that, right? And they still stayed a family. Yeah. You know what I mean? That relative was okay with it, and even though y'all didn't like it, you didn't interfere in that, right? And
just on some personal shit. My granddad used to be my grandma's ass.
You talk about that, yeah,
all the time. Like never left, never wanted to go nowhere.
Yeah.
Part of their relationship.
Yeah.
It's part of their relationship. So much so that he hit her one time. She fell and had to get a glass eye. She hit her eye on the corner of the table. That type of that's a scream. Your eye get knocked out. You got to get a glass eye.
That's very extreme. But I get that people have their own issues. I'm just saying is just because it's their own doesn't mean I'm going to be okay with it or I should accept it or acknowledge it and not say, hey, that ain't right.
I'm not saying any of that. I agree with that. Would you
said it's okay for them if she love it.
If she loves it. But for me, I'm not okay with any of that. So I agree on that aspect. But I say if a woman comes in here and tells me, and she says, yes, I feel love when he beats my ass, I'm just going to internalize that as, damn, I like to be in love too. But I don't know about being in love to get my ass whooped, so I'm not going to think about it too much. But I just know how good love feels. I remember watching Disney and Cinderella and all of that shit. Damn, she had to lose a shoe, and they was going through heartache, and Rapunzel had to let her motherfucking hair down. Niggas had to fight dragons and all the little shit, woo woo. And that was part of love. Niggas had to go through ups and downs. And in the black community, we believe in struggle love. So part of struggle love, it's the ups and downs and the being broke and the cheat and all. This is what we believe in our community. We got actual term called struggle love. And we all have said we don't want to struggle to be in love, but we've all been in love and we all said we like love. But in our community, we have this thing called struggle love, and people just are okay with it. So I don't know why all of a sudden when we come to the beating the ass part, we just act like people can't be in love while getting their ass beat, or that's just the nature of their relationship. I think it's kind of wild when we got a thing called struggle love in our community.
I'm just saying.
I don't know.
And I know we got off topic. This just like I said, we do these tangents. Make sure y'all like the page, subscribe to the channel. We'll be on this all.
If y'all watch it, do you think a woman can be in love? Anybody, because in the black community it's mutual. Do you think a person can be in love and get their ass beat, or feel like they need to get their ass beat to be in love?
Again, okay, that's just an isolator. I'm using that, getting cheated on, whatever emotional abuse.
Whatever. I just use anything. Yeah. That's why I said the struggle, whatever the struggle is, under this umbrella of struggle, we have that in our community.
Saying you can't beat her. I'm just saying it's not okay.
For me, it ain't. And that's what I keep telling you. Everything you have said, I agree with on a personal level. But if it's a motherfucker that I don't know, I see her walk with a black eye and like a nigga beat her ass, I'm minding my motherfucking business because that's what she want to do. She want to do.
Because if we're gonna go that route, it's a lot of stuff I don't agree with. I've had friends who they was taking care of their man.
I know niggas that was fucking married. I don't believe in fucking married chicks, but I know niggas that fuck married chicks, and we still cool to this day. There's a lot of shit that we will be associated with people that we won't be okay with and won't agree with, but some people live different lifestyles. A lot of people call it, alternative lifestyles or whatever. They got all these different fucking names for shit nowadays.
So if he want to be married to a Sierra and he cool with her shaking her behind, it's the same comparison.
I get that, but that's why I said the point was missed. I'm taking him out of it. Let's say we don't even mention Russell Wilson. That's why I use.
That was Albert Roman. See, now you're taking Albert Roman out the argument.
No. But this is what I'm doing, because this is why I pulled up Kobe and the greats. I said, if I'm going to a corporation, because we have a lot of success stories. I've been with the company 20 years. I've been with the company 30 years. We now work corporate America jobs, and we hear these testimonies with the higher ups. Yeah, I gave this company 20 years before I got here. What I'm saying is the difference between this person versus the other 1,000 that they could have picked from was a duty that did not have to be had a conversation. The coach, Phil Jackson, or whoever, didn't have to go to Kobe and say, come to work 2 hours early and run 2 more miles so you can play 48 minutes. I didn't have to say shoot 300 jump shots after practice. Those are conversations that don't have to be had. I'm saying if I adore you, I'm on internet, I see what they're saying about me. I don't like what they're saying. Let me stop. Is that a solution? Well, I see what they're saying about you, babe. Let me stop doing it so they'll stop saying it. Is that an option?
But yes, it's an option to stop.
Okay, that's my point.
I don't know why you missing our point.
I got y'all point. It's not about Russ. It's about her. I see what these people are saying about my husband over the things I'm doing. Let me stop.
I don't know if that's always the majority of what she sees, though.
I'm not saying majority of what she sees.
Okay, but what I'm saying, you're saying
it's being said.
Let me take into account the comments.
Yes.
In general.
Yes.
Maybe she's not seeing an affluent amount of comments that are negative. There are people that love her relationship. Love it so much so that there is a song out there called Sierra's Prayer, and there ain't even nobody singing on the song.
I'm asking you this. What demographic love her relationship?
I would say black people.
Black who?
Women.
They have what?
I'm not sure.
Kids by other niggas.
I mean, possibly that. I love her. I have 0 kids.
Again, I'm talking about the
I'm
majority.
around a lot of women that don't have kids. It depends on what your community is. I don't know a lot of single parents. There are a community of people out here who only are surrounded by single parents. I went to a school where I didn't go to school with a lot of people in broken homes. There are people who only went to school with people with their mothers. Your community is derived around people that are that you're in close proximity of.
I can agree to that. However,
so yes, that's why our opinions are different.
We know people have certain listen to Future. People that go to church every Sunday, Bible study and shit, do missions in out of country. Those Future's biggest fans, right? That's his demographic. That when he put music out, yeah, I got 3,000 missionaries. They're going to Jerusalem. They're going in the hood to feed the family. That's his demographic. Yes or no?
No, I wouldn't say.
What's Future demographic? Who is target audience? Who bumping Future?
Probably black men, young black men.
That do what? Who bumping Pooh Shiesty?
I don't know. I listen to Future a lot. And I don't do
Who bumping Pooh Shiesty?
I don't know. I don't listen to Pooh Shiesty.
Young trouble youth.
Probably so.
Majority. So let's not act like these people don't have certain audiences. That's why you just admitted it. They love Sierra and Russell Wilson because the savior aspect, the Sierra's prayer. I got a baby's out of wedlock and yada yada yada. So I want a Russell too. You got women saying I want a Russell.
Okay, so let's be clear. When we talk about that aspect from the women's aspect, that's why we talk about the savior. But when we talk about the Russell Wilson and you talk about disrespect, you got to go back to this. And it's not a hard concept. He may not feel disrespected.
You're not talking about him.
You might feel disrespected because that was our barometer. That's how we got here.
I said she should be having that internal conversation without him having to come to her saying, I feel disrespected, because even though she may not see a majority or a flood,
so
she's been exposed and seen some of the conversation that's based on my behavior. What they say?
How do you know that they ain't had that conversation?
Because
you say he's coming.
What's the last video? What's his date?
I don't know.
So we had the conversation 6 minutes ago? Because the video a week old. So we had the conversation today. Again,
you probably seen the video before it came out.
Well, no. You said, how do we know they didn't have a conversation?
Yeah, how you know that they didn't have a conversation? She said, baby, how do you feel about these videos? How do you know that he ain't okay? Because as a matter of fact, he was on there on an interview talking about when I seen Sierra on this video with Future, I liked that video, and that's when I knew I had to have her. He said that when she on this song with her baby daddy. So I just think when we have these conversations, a lot of people are different. We got a whole thing called cuckolding, where niggas let other niggas fuck their bitch and watch it. We got Diddy on trial doing this. So I'm saying, like, we have so many facets of relationship. It is crazy for me to sit here and argue with you about a wife, what a wife looks like, because I've always been driven in my head from my parents. Your wife ain't got to do what and me and my wife had this conversation. My wife does absolutely a move nothing like my mother. And that's not a bad thing, but she doesn't do anything like my mother. And she always say, she'll make a little statement. She's like, yeah, I want to, I see what your mama do, how your mama moves. So I want to kind of mimic that. But I tell her, I'm not with you. I'm dating my mother. If I wanted somebody like my mother, I can go find that. I wanted what you do, what my wife does, being a professional, making money, is kind of what I wanted in my life. I wanted somebody to make money. We can make money. We can start doing investing and work together and tell them on some business shit. Let's go get this money. I didn't want nobody that wanted to be at home, homemaker, cooking, decorating the house. And that ain't shit that I don't need that shit. Like, as long as the house peaceful and you ain't running around, you go to work, make the money, I'm happy. I don't need a lot of shit.
I mean, I get that.
You know what I'm saying?
And I don't want to be the dead horse. What's some of those comments, Shantz?
It's kind of like spam comments, but this one is
just
if we're gonna get on Tyler Perry for making money off Black trauma, we got to keep the same energy with trap rappers.
I agree 100%.
Oh yeah, I agree with that.
that.
But like I told you earlier, I said I'm not mad at Tyler Perry because a lot of niggas is drunk off emotion, and then white people and other people can exploit black emotions to get $1. Why the black man can't?
That's why I don't really get mad at let's say the offender or whatever the case may be. It's us.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying? Because if you you could put some. We talked about going to Walmart. It's 1,000 brands of cookies. Motherfucker like Chips Ahoy, Keebler. You get to pick off that what you consume. So I just provide. Yeah. So it's up to me to say that don't really reflect, that don't depict who I am or my community. So that's why I say it's up to us to say, hey, dog, you gotta cut that shit out.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think also to add
Shout
on
out
with,
to Hassan. What up, Hassan?
What's
I
up
ain't seen
going
you in a
on,
minute.
bro? Yeah.
I think also to add to that conversation that Jay said, we also have to put that same energy on other media that we consume too, because it's negative across the board.
GTA.
Possibly that, but I'm
All
thinking
of it.
like Baddies on Zeus Network.
Oh, yeah. Hell
You know what I mean? We have a lot of people that love that show. Though that's real people. They're going across the country. They're taking Americans, right? We're already viewed a certain way, politically, socially, all of those things, to Africa, to other countries, fighting, causing a scene, recording it, just showing us in mass chaos. They have hundreds of followers, right? Hundreds of people that tune in. They come to the auditions to fight other people they do not know.
Mm-hmm.
They put it on TV. People watch it. Tyler Perry gets actors and actresses that are pulling together a fictitious story that gets more hate than someone actually going out and doing those real things in real time, causing harm, chaos, all kind of things.
Well, do you think that's because of the people behind, like a Netflix is on everybody's TV compared to a news station? Everybody ain't watching the news. You know what I'm saying?
Well, okay, that is true. We have things like World Star, who has gone viral for having, of course, videos.
But do people still watch World Star?
I got enough time.
Yeah, people do. People do. They have music videos, but they also have videos. Who doesn't remember Sharkeisha?
Yeah,
Sharkeisha, no.
Yes, you know
I
that's
ingrained.
that shit out
randomly. I said that shit like 2 days ago.
It's ingrained in our mind because of those videos.
Yeah.
And then we have media where a lot of people highlight negative things about Black people.
Yeah.
And when they go to Netflix, and Netflix ain't looking like, oh, well, what's the climate gonna be? What's the numbers gonna be?
Yeah.
Is this gonna be beneficial not only to you but to our platform? This controversy has caused so many people who probably weren't gonna watch the show anyways to go and watch it.
Yeah, because
I never heard of it. I didn't even hear about it. I've had my head in the clouds doing some other things.
Right?
The movie Straw.
Yeah.
I had no clue about it. Justin called me and was like, he wanted to talk about postpartum depression because the movie had something to do with it, and he wasn't gonna watch the movie. I watched the movie and I said, hey, the movie has nothing to do with postpartum depression. It has, these other things. So there are conversations that are happening. People are going to watch the movie.
Where's the part that he said the postpartum depression in it?
He was reading it like he was reading some comments on the post.
He reading in between the lines the reason why she acting like that.
That's what some people were coming up with. Okay. And I told him, I said, if they actually watch the movie, they show her not at a hospital, no infancy, no pregnancy photos or videos or anything about a traumatic experience after birth. We don't see the father in the picture. So, and the girl is like 9 or 8 years old.
I think she's 7 years old.